I get this new phone, it's very easy to, like, because it's going to be empty. I'm not going to use it for other stuff. It's just going to be for like making stuff like this.
But that's very expensive. The iPhone 13 is probably very expensive, I guess. So
yeah, but like everything I have is so old. I feel like I need to buy something anyway. And if I buy something that's not new, it's going to get old really quickly. I need to buy something that I can keep for like 12 years and then talk about how great it is. And everyone's going to say, we have the iPhone 18. What are you doing?
that's too much. That's too much. Like, how do you wait for a tech to get up to 12 years before you dispose of it? I think in the next 4 or 5 years, the iPhone 13 will be so old, because technology will have gotten so big, will have probably advanced, you know. So I'm thinking 4 or 5 years max for your iPhone 13 if you eventually buy it.
Yeah, but I'm using an iPhone 8.
Yeah, you're probably old. You're probably, the old kind of guy, you don't like disposing old tech. Maybe
Yeah.
you're in love with the old lifestyle anyway. Who knows, Not everyone not everyone likes new things. Might be a fetish for you. Who knows?
No. It's not a fetish. It's like I was just poor.
You're not poor.
Not anymore. No, I'm getting there. I'm
You're
moving
not
up,
poor
moving up. But no, it's just it was really hard. Like I was living with almost no money for a long time. Like even this phone I got as a gift.
Or you were living with no money for a long time.
Yeah.
I lived on I saved, I was working. I managed to save $500 for working 7 years. Can you beat that?
Damn, but how much does your phone cost then? Is it cheaper
my
there?
phone is you mean my iPhone 12?
Yeah.
Yeah, it cost me $400 plus.
Okay, wow. So wait, how many years you said it took to make $500?
Took me 7 years.
Wow.
But how come you decide to buy this phone then?
Actually, my finances have changed over time.
Okay, that's great.
Okay, I think I started working that job. I think it was 2011, and I stopped 2018. So I managed to save $500 for 7 years, and nobody believed that. But from 2018, that was when my finances changed. So iPhone 12, basically, I got my iPhone 12 in September of last year. So from 2018, actually, that was when my financial situation started changing, and I stopped where I was working to basically do what we now do. So so it's a life-changing story. But you were saying you live with nothing. I basically lived on grass. Like I lived like from hand to mouth. It was, I didn't consider myself poor. I think I was a church rat. I was something you would consider to be, poor is even good. When you say poor, poor is an understatement. I was more than poor. So
how'd you change that though? Is it all from, it just kind of happened from?
Yeah, it didn't kind of happen. Actually, I started working on Fiverr. I started writing on Fiverr in 2017. Before I stopped that job, I started writing on Fiverr. I started doing microsourcing on the internet. There was this website I met in 2017. What I do there was to, it's all about crowdsourcing. You get to like someone's video on the internet and you get paid. You get to comment on the video of someone and you get paid. You get to follow someone on Instagram, you get paid. So it was crowdsourcing, and sometimes I earn $50 a week for doing that. Sometimes 40. sometimes 35. So I began to compound some of these monies. I was using some of these monies to buy some shares in some companies back then, and it would yield some interest. That was way before I found out about decentralized, blockchain, where you can, post and earn and all that. That was before I found out about Bitcoin and crypto and all that and all that. It was actually crypto that changed my life, actually. The money I made from writing on the internet was not as impactful as I would have wanted it, but it was better than earn $500 in 7 years. It was better than that. But up until I got into crypto, that was when my life changed. So I started buying crypto basically in 2017 of September. Actually, I bought into Steam back then, 2017, and that was in September. And could you believe that in December the bull market started? It was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
So,
Wait,
yeah,
but so you said it took, so before that though, it took 500. It took 7 years to say 500. What kind of work was that?
I was a home tutor. I was a home tutor to kids who were I was tutoring literature.
Yeah.
That was what I was doing. And I worked 2 jobs, basically 2 jobs. I worked in a company where they produced water, actually. So, and I worked as a home tutor. I was teaching kids literature, and I worked 2 jobs. And you can't believe that these 2 jobs I worked was how I saved $500 in 7 years. And you couldn't imagine how when you tell people that I work 2 or 3 jobs, it's not the volume. Sometimes someone can work 4 jobs and they still earn very shitty. And that's how worse it was. People can work up to 2, 3 jobs or 4 in a day, and they can't even afford to eat 3 times in a day. That was how terrible it was in my society back then. But and I was living with some health issues, actually. So it was difficult for me to biologically, maintain the kind of energy that so many people were doing. There were some kind of jobs that I couldn't do. Those jobs that requires me to work in factories, I couldn't because I was anemic. And when someone has anemia, there are jobs that you are limited to. There are jobs you can't actually do. So I was limited to these jobs. So I needed the soft kind of jobs to actually thrive. My mom and my dad were having issues. They were separated. So we couldn't depend on them to live. We couldn't depend on them to survive. We had to survive on our own. And it was a tough life, actually. It was tough. It was tough growing up. It was tough living with health issues and not having a parent to depend on. And I guess that was what made me mentally stronger. And that was it.
Well, you came a long way though, right?
Yeah. So I could relate when you said you were poor. I could relate to when you said you were poor because I knew you couldn't be poorer than I was.
No, I know that. I know there's a lot of people that were a lot poorer than I was, right? And the thing about me though, like I'm an arrogant motherfucker. So it's like I chose to be poor. Like I had opportunities and I said, no. I hate this stuff. I want to be free. And
who chooses poor?
Huh? No, I did. I chose to be poor because I said it's that, or I have to like give all my energy to someone who I don't want to give it to. And in the end, I was scared. I was scared of that situation where I worked for 7 years and I saved $500. I felt like if it's a choice between those two, like because the situation I was in was like there were more communities around, and I actually met Ching Yi through one of those communities. there were communities around that were friendly and that you could support each other, you know? So it wasn't as desperate. So I was kind of lucky in that sense, right? And I think a lot of people in some countries, it's easier to find that, right? And some situations, it's easier to find that. But yeah, I mean, if you know that you could survive without a problem, without doing that work for 7 years, it would be a little bit different, right?
Yeah, it would be a little bit different.
Yeah.
I thing is the truth was that my uncles were rich motherfuckers. They were so rich. Yeah, they were rich, but you know, they decided not to help me out in any way. I was okay with that. These were people who had so much money that they weren't doing anything with money. They had houses, companies, and you know, they were living the dream. And I could barely feed off the scraps, and it was crazy. But you don't have that communities that were willing to, you know, help. That were willing, that kind of community where you can join and have people who want to assist you. African societies are not tailored this way. African societies are not tailored to help each other. People are more of survival. People are on survival mode. People want to live off survival, you know. So people just want to be on their own. They just want to feed their families, their girlfriends, their mothers,
man,
and all
I'm
that.
sorry. I gotta go for like 10 seconds. Somebody's at the door. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. You can keep talking. I'll catch up in a second.
Hey, I like your story.
Yeah, it's kind of touching, isn't it?
It's just amazing because I believe you reached, okay, when you was in some point, your mind just suddenly changed. That's why you will choose to do the other job or just try other things. Leave the old situation, the poor. I'm not sure. Do you think that's a poor situation? That's 7 years.
It was real. It was actually very real. It was real. I still have that scar inside my mind. Okay, it's still there. Sometimes I want to spend some of my hard-earned money. I want to go to the store, get something expensive for myself. But I remember that there was a time in my life where I couldn't afford that. But I know that I can afford 3 to 4 or 5 of that commodity, but I won't spend that money because I'm scared of getting back to that situation where I have to not afford that. So that's like a mental challenge to me. I want to spend sometimes, but I can't because I'm scared of going back to that situation where I don't have that money. So the scars are still, yeah.
Yeah, that's why when Seth mentioned when you say you are poor and you think poor can give you freedom maybe. I'm really curious about this point because I don't feel poor can give me freedom or the free opportunity to
you mean
do
what I
other.
said?
Yeah. When you mentioned that, okay, I would say I think in some point poor is limited by the opportunity in my life, like what I can do it.
Well, I never thought about, like, I don't think being poor can make you more free. I never think like that. It's just
poor,
like
no.
it's that the requirements for making money sometimes is so restrictive that it feels like all the money you make will just disappear. Like his situation that he was talking about, like working for 7 years to save $500. It's not really free, right? So you have this money, but it doesn't really help you to feel free because it could disappear anytime, and it takes so much work just to save up a little bit. And so I was in that situation for like 5 years, not as desperate as that, not like, I don't know, desperate, but not as how do you say? Like I was working a job for 5 years and I didn't save anything. Like I was living decently, but I couldn't save any money because Tokyo was so expensive, and because I wasn't making like a really good salary. And so
I
after,
was I wasn't living decently. I was
yeah,
living
yeah,
terribly.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
wanted to go to college. I wanted to go to college. That was why I started saving.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, but $500 couldn't take me to college.
yeah,
But I wanted to save. I
yeah,
wanted to badly go to college in 2011.
yeah,
I it was I wanted to be a professor. I wanted to own a school. I wanted to teach kids and all that. And I wanted to go to college, and even if the money I saved wasn't enough, I had to deprive myself of so many things in life to save that $500. That's for you to know the degree of how terrible it
yeah,
was. I wasn't living freely. I was living restrictedly to
yeah,
save that
yeah,
money.
yeah.
If I was a spendthrift, or I lived large, I couldn't even live large. Let's say I lived averagely, I wouldn't
Mhm,
save up anything. Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, yeah, no, I know that situation. I see people around the world in like different variations of it. It's the same situation. It's just that the living conditions are different. It's that you work really, really hard and you save up this much money. And if you live in a rich country, you can eat well, but you still save up this much money. And if you live in a poor country, you work just as, you might work a little harder, and in the end you save up the same amount or less, but it's like
Less.
the whole situation is very unpleasant, right? And you live in like a less than ideal place, right? And but it's a similar situation where you're working for a long time and it doesn't really amount to anything. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it doesn't really, you don't feel any safer or more secure, or you don't feel like you're more capable or anything at that point. When you save up that money, it's just enough to buy an iPhone, right? Or it's just enough to buy a new this or new that. And for me, it was the last 2 years was just enough for me to move to this apartment, right? And just this situation of working so hard just for like these little prizes at the end of 5 years or 2 years, or it just felt like, it felt like I was locked up. It felt like I was in jail. And because I saved up enough money that I could live for a year overseas in a country that was cheaper. And I said, okay, I have a year. I'll see what happens. And so during that time, I tried not to spend money, and I tried to just meet as many people as I could, and try to like find people who I could really connect with. And during that time, because money was just not in my mind at all during that time, I felt like I'll eat the bare minimum. I'll eat the cheapest food I can eat, and I'll stay in the cheapest places I can stay. If I can find a free place, I'll stay there. I don't care how uncomfortable it is. And so I lived like that for like 3 or 4 years, actually. It was 1 year at first, but I played some music and I did some translation work. And in the end, it paid for itself for a few years. And, you know, I feel like that was kind of the best time of my life in some ways. But at the same time, it was always huh? You said something?
Because you felt free. You
Yeah,
lived
yeah,
the
yeah. I was
life
free.
free.
I was free. But
I'll
at
tell
any
you why.
moment, Mhm.
I'll tell you why that is so. Actually, sometimes money doesn't give you happiness, basically. Money doesn't guarantee you happiness. And that's because sometimes you want to just want to do you so badly. You don't want to be restricted to a boss that wants you to be up early in the morning. You don't want to be restricted to a nagging boss. You don't want to be restricted to a job that takes away your energy to maybe feel alive, have a girlfriend, have a relationship, go to the beach, see the ocean, and all that. So sometimes we choose all these things over money. Some people choose money over these things. I guess we can't have everything completely. You have to choose that life over this. But I guess with time, basically, people now have choices to choose to balance between two lives, actually. So I think the tides are changing, basically.
Yeah. Well, I was living like that for a while, and I didn't see a way to go back to working where it would be beneficial to me, because it felt like if I go back into working, because I don't have any kind of really specialized skills, and so like I can't do IT, I can't do medical work, I can't do law, I can't do any of these professional things, and my resume doesn't look so good probably. And so I thought, like, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to go back into that situation. But then I got involved in this kind of in Hive, in the crypto blogging, and just learning about investments and things like that. And I realized, like, if you make 2 or 3 good trades, it can just kind of bypass all of that work. And I'm not saying that it's bad to do work. And I'm not saying that, like, everybody's going to win at that game. It just felt like there are other possibilities. And so now, like, when it comes to buying a new iPhone or something, I don't have enough money for an iPhone 13. But I just feel like if I buy the iPhone 13 and I use it to make something that's really important, then that's going to lead to something. The possibilities open up. So I don't really feel scared of that. Yeah. So I guess that's why I don't feel free from being poor. Like, when I'm poor, I don't feel free. It's just like, I think the goal for everyone is to not have to think about money, whatever that means.
But anyway, just money is like a tool for us to can achieve maybe our goals, our dreams. So I always think money is neutral. Like, the nature is money is neutral. It's not bad things. Okay, it's not like a super nice whatever. Just neutral. Depends on how we use that. Yeah. I think we all like cryptos. So fun. Actually, sometimes I told my friends, fans said, because you told me to buy cryptos in the very beginning.
One more time. What did you say?
I said, sometimes I told my friends that I really fans said you, because you told in the beginning, told me to buy Bitcoin, and actually is my first sense is just want to pay the English lesson fee for you. Yeah, and I said, fuck it, if I pay to you and then just buy the same to me. Like, these 2 years, I told Seth, but you know, I'm not work much these 2 years. I just keep spend the cryptos for my daily, because whatever, I have no job right now in Hong Kong. My industry just closed always, but I feel okay. Like, I'm not really frustrated about the situation right now. I feel I'm safe. I can, like, keep going to my dream work. Yeah, but depends. Okay, but I said now I'm not really confident about this.
Why does it feel safe now, though? It doesn't feel safe all the time, right?
I feel safe because at least I have some safe, and the value is keep going up. Like, I don't think cryptos will go to 0, so it will be fine. So I feel I have time to just keep in the art and the theater industries. I have a lot of co-workers. They have to change their job, like, for example, join the government department or join some company, but which I don't want it, because when you into the system, your mindset so far will change that, which I don't want it. And I know my health cannot afford the pressure. I will be really easier to depress or just I can't. I know.
Yes.
Yeah, I know.
It's similar to how I felt during that time I told you about.
Yeah.
It's basically how I felt during that time.
Yeah, but I'm lucky. So I'm keep telling my coworkers and friends. I say, let's buy 500 Hong Kong dollars, 50 US dollar every month. I just keep telling them, just buy 50, give me 50. But no one, just they will ignore me. And then sometimes they will like jealousy and say, oh, you bought it. And then I was told that, I told you bought that too. But I understand right now is no matter what you told people, when someone want it, they will do it.
Yeah.
You can't force people to change their mindset or just take time. When the time arrives, they will do it.
Definitely.
Yeah. So whatever. Just if people or my friend ask me something like that, I would say, oh, then I would let them, I would tell them how to do it. Even though some friends want to buy NFT, like, I would tell them don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, like we're relying on crypto to live right now. I think all three of us are kind of relying on crypto, right?
Yeah.
Oh, she's also relying on crypto.
Yeah.
But so what happens? What happens if it all falls down? What happens if it goes down to like I don't know, Bitcoin goes down to back to 10,000 or something?
10,000.
Don't play the devil's advocate now, will you? Don't play that, yeah. Don't play the devil's advocate.
This is how I approach life though. Like I want to face that. I want to face that and say like I have a plan, or I'll be okay, you know? Even if I won't be okay, I want to be okay inside. And that's how I was living before. It's like when I chose not to work, it was like, I don't know what's going to happen to me. I might get like a disease and not have money to pay for treatment or something. You know, that's how I was thinking. I'm like, if I get sick, I'll just die. It's okay. And I didn't want to get sick, and I was trying to avoid anything that would make me sick, and to like slowly find a better way to live. But it took that kind of like willingness to face those fears, I think. And so with crypto too, like if it all falls apart, and myself and these friends who are kind of hoping that it doesn't, like really hoping it doesn't, what are we gonna do, you know? And
actually when you talk about crypto like that, I think I begin to have heart attacks sometimes.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But I like your approach to life. I like that approach. This is simply because we have to be two-sided. Actually, we don't have to be that optimistic all the time. That's because life isn't just about optimism. Life is about the negatives as well. It's about the positives too. So as much as we are preparing for something that might surprise us positively, we also have to acknowledge the fact that things would happen to us. Things might happen to us negatively, and that includes BTC or Bitcoin going to 10K. That's a possibility. That's a possibility actually. But I think those possibilities, the chances are very, very, very slim. And that's because I think the crypto industry has intertwined into real-time sectors. We have real-time use cases for BTC. For crypto is beginning to creep into so many countries' economy. And for it to actually crash to that level would be preposterous. It would be totally unbelievable. It would take a second pandemic, not a pandemic. It would take the Armageddon to happen, or it would take the world to destroy for that kind of thing to actually happen. Yeah, or let's just say the World Bank is being robbed and all the money is taken away. You know.
Well, I mean, I like to do these thought experiments because I just feel like sometimes life punches you in the face, right? But like when it does, it doesn't mean it's finished. It means like there might be some other opportunity there, you know? And so like it kind of came out of nowhere, and I feel like at the same time it could disappear just as easily. But then there's also this other side where, wait, I don't want to give you a heart attack.
I already
No,
have a
because
heart attack.
it's funny.
You know?
It's
I
funny.
want
It's funny.
I want
because
to say I have phantom. You know, I have phantom.
uh-huh. No, wait,
You
wait,
know,
but so
phantom dropped 25% already.
Phantom? What? I don't know.
I said, do you know phantom FTN? One of the con. Okay. Anyway, so
I don't know.
so
Okay,
so
you are buying into that coin. Are you buying into that coin that you just mentioned?
no, I had. Okay, I had some phantom. I also had that con. So I said, whatever. It's like you told me. The life is swimming my face. Yes. Just something can change suddenly. 10K, yes. If Bitcoin go to 10K or NFT go to zero, then.
But wait, so I don't think that's gonna happen, right? I don't really think that's gonna happen. It's just to play with that in my mind, because actually, if that happens, there's a chance that there's a bigger opportunity behind that too. You get what I'm saying?
If it happens, you're going to have to migrate me off this country, because it wouldn't be nice.
Well, wait. If it happens, what if it makes it easier for you to go to another country? You know what I'm saying? It's like it might push you to do something that you should have done anyway. So that's how I'm looking at this. I don't think it's going to crash. I think probably 30,000 is the lowest it could crash to. But I guess 20,000 was the past all-time high. I guess that's probably the lowest. But like, I still like to do these thought experiments just to think, like, what am I going to do in case, and try to, like, get strong enough where even if that happens, I don't care. I'll be okay. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, the truth is, I'm trying to get into that financial position. Sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what if I can afford a pizza tomorrow? What if I can afford to have a hamburger tomorrow? And I just realized that my whole life is tied to crypto. I like to untangle that something. I like to get into something realistic, something I can depend on for my finances, actually. And I'm working towards that, actually. I don't intend to die owning only crypto, actually. I intend to basically go into other things, but for now, I'm just planning. It's very good for one to procrastinate sometimes, so that you can use all that time to actually plan. This life we're living is dreamy, basically. It's sometimes when you think about what you can achieve with crypto, your mind is blown away. But you have to realize that sometimes that dream might not be born, basically. So the dream is there. The plan to actually live off crypto is there too, because sometimes I think like you, but not to that extent where everything goes to zero. Basically, that can be possible. So but I think anything is possible, but some things aren't really 100% possible.
Yeah, I think you can type a title, for example, what the topic today we are going now. We can just say cryptos, and then all our friends will join us.
Wait, but where? Sorry, I'm looking.
She's a smart woman. She's a smart woman, I tell you.
I'm smart, yes, and beauty too. Really honest. Which we didn't meet before.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
I like that.
Oh no. Okay. It's good. I didn't know I could do this with you.